Like many other cozy gamers lucky enough to have a Switch too, I've spent the past month playing Pokopia non-stop. I've completed all the zones, unlocked all the abilities, and very nearly completed my Pokedex, except for two very annoying Pokemon. You know who you are. I've tried my hand at making some cute builds, but whilst I love looking at what others do, my own creations tend to fall short. I found myself craving the earlier game when I was unlocking new things and before I had 5 worlds and a cloud island to decorate from scratch. One of my favourite genres of videos on YouTube are challenge runs, where players put restrictions on the way they play their favourite games, such as not being able to leave the farm in Stardew Valley or completing as much of Skyrim whilst trapped in Whiterun. I was particularly inspired by zone lock challenges from World of Warcraft, as well as Broseiden's Route Master series, where the goal is to complete as much of an area before you're allowed to move on to the next one. And I wondered, is this possible in Pokopia? Pokopia has 4 story regions: Withered Wastelands, Bleak Beach, Rocky Ridges, and Sparkling Skylands, and the sandbox region of Pallet Town. In the story zones, there are quests to complete that slowly tell the tale of where the humans have disappeared to. Along the way, you meet new friends who teach you new abilities such as cooking and flying, all of which help make the rest of the game smoother. I want to see how much we can push every story zone to its max before we move on. In this challenge, I will be completing every zone habitat. I define those as the ones with the matching backgrounds to their zone, meeting each available Pokemon and collecting all the human records and zone-specific recipes. I will need to get to environment level 10, and as an extra challenge, I want to make sure every Pokemon has an awesome comfort level and create unique builds for them. Time to get started with Withered Wastelands. I made a new profile on my Switch and decided to name this Ditto after my real-life dog, Rhea. There's no corgi ears, but these buns will have to do. I won't be using any of the online features for this, such as Cloud Island printing on mystery gifts, as I feel like it defeats some of the challenge of the run, and because I don't want to pay for a second Nintendo Switch Online subscription. After meeting Professor Tangrowth, we venture out into the barren world of the Withered Wastelands. It's here we meet our first Pokemon, Squirtle. Now I need a little sidebar to discuss something here. When I first played this part, I couldn't stop laughing because it reminded me of that one bean with the flowers, you know? Squirtle is a thirsty little flower and I have to water gun him. The rest of the first section is pretty scripted. You restore some habitats, meet Bulbasaur, teach him what a bed looks like, and then as night falls and we get cold, Charmander helpfully spawns to light a campfire for us. Professor Tangrowth trauma dumps on us, tells us stories until we all fall asleep. After this, the game opens up a lot. We still have a lot of tutorial type quests to learn basic gameplay elements, but we are a bit more free in the order in which we complete them. Before we can get started, we overhear a super cute conversation between Bulbasaur and Squirtle about their history together. You can witness these conversations by having certain Pokemon live near each other, and in this series I want to try and catch as many of these conversations as possible. Tangrowth shows us the old rundown Pokemon Center, and after some expert level IT support, the PC introduces us to challenges. Because I'm a masochist, I also want to make sure I complete all the challenges available to us before I move on to the next zone, which will be helpful for the Pokelife coins anyway. We set up a few new habitats as we go about restoring the world. We're going to be setting up a lot of habitats and meeting a lot of new Pokemon, so I won't go over each one in a lot of detail, but I'll still show them all in the footage. Hitmonchan shows us how to beat the other Pokemon up, just in case one of them tries to give me issues. And Tangrowth encourages me to start investing in real estate. Scyther pops up and nearly cuts Squirtle's throat in the process, and now Ditto knows how to knife someone as well as punch them. I thought this was a kid's game. I meet Magikarp, who has fast become one of my new favourite Pokemon because of this game, and despite the very degrading message in his Pokedex entry, he is actually very useful and teaches us how to jump, which will help us get around a lot easier. A little more exploring and we run into Drillbur, whose lifelong ambition is to turn Pokopia into Stardew Valley. He teaches us how to till dirt and plant bean seeds, and promptly moves into the field we dug, which he will later complain about being too bright. Moles, am I right? With our new home built, Charmander and Box, and a new career as a party planner, unfortunately, he sucks. Also, did you know the I threw up screenshot was photoshopped? It's just this line where he says he's tripped, Sorry for ruining the game for you. Luckily, whilst he's not a pro party planner, Charmander does have a secret talent for abstract art and paints us a flag from sticky old berries. Fresh off the high of our first building, Tengrove turns his hand to becoming a renovator. His dream is to make this ruin into a sparkling Pokemon Center once again. We just need to track down the right tradesman for the job. Timber is an expert builder, and Scyther has already demonstrated his carpentry skills, but nobody ordered the digger to clear the old rubble away. Oh look, here's Onyx. He's basically as good as a digger, right? Unfortunately, he's been imprisoned for crimes unknown, and we only started martial arts like 30 minutes ago, so we've not worked up the strength to smash through stone. The professor thinks that if we can make it rain, the hard stone will turn to mud, and Onyx can burrow on out. Except it never rains. Wish we could have that luck in the UK. His genius idea to get a downpour is to find a slowpoke whose yawns can call down a deluge. This makes me wonder, why is it not always raining in Pokemon games? Surely there's enough slowpokes out there being all sleepy that you just permanently need an umbrella? But before our slowpoke can yawn, we first have to make this place humid. Ditto has already done quite a bit of work opening the springs and regrowing trees, but Squirtle was some sort of witch in his last life and knows how to do a rain dance. Why didn't he say that before? Oh, because it doesn't work. You tried. Luckily, the energy from the dance is enough to wear Slowpoke out, and he puts in a big yawn, bringing us a very brief shower. Those little drops of rains are enough to disturb an ancient slumbering presence from the depths. No, not Cthulhu, Kyogre. He had just been really tired and gone for the world's longest nap and forgotten to water his crops, aka the world. With his help, we can bring back the rain and de-wither the wastelands. We procrastinate turning in the quest so we can make the most of Kyogre's monsoon, which mysteriously stops as soon as we complete the mission. We free Onyx, who despite being grateful for his freedom is actually not a fan of the damp and wants us to make it dry again. With the world looking a bit more green, the Pokemon can begin their unpaid labour and help us remake the Pokemon Center to bring capitalism back to the world. This is where the story for the zone ends mostly. Tangrowth drops some hints that we really should go find a new zone to explore, and we ignore him completely. We still have so many habitats left to go. We can reuse some of our old habitats if we move Pokemon out of them, so I make this little park for the ones that like the outdoors and fill it with flowers and grass. It's really cute how much the Pokemon cheer you on in this game. Like, hell yeah, I did just spit on the floor, thanks for noticing. From here on, we are mostly making new homes and finding new guys, so cue the montage. Whilst we were waiting for the new Pokemon to spawn in, Drifloon took us to a dream island that we can raid for resources. Oh yeah, we met Drifloon and he is just as creepy in this game as he always has been. Note for later, do not house him next to baby Pokemon. At the moment all we have is this Eevee doll, so we can mostly just find the resources we can find in our area. But I think it's possible to uncover a Pikachu doll from treasure spots which would open up new resources to us, fingers crossed. We can also meet a very special legendary friend on one of these islands if we get lucky. Or at least I think we can. Maybe that unlocks later in the game. We will see. There's also another mythical Pokemon in this zone, which we can summon, but it's going to take a very long time and be one of our biggest grinds for the Wastelands, but more about that next episode. With the Pokemon Center restored and a new little waterside retreat built, our region is really starting to liven up. We need to work on some more impressive builds soon, but our resources are quite limited, so I'm probably going to go for a rustic woodsy vibe with the region. We still need to collect all the fossils you can find in this zone. Those are the shield fossil, armor fossils and wing fossils, and work on raising everyone's comfort. But I think we're off to a brilliant start. At the end of today's episode, here's our progress towards our goal. I have been collecting human records, but I'm saving that footage for a compilation when we're done. Work has already begun on the next episode's gameplay, and let's just say, Pidgey is going to be our new best friend. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing for more similar content. This is my first time attempting this challenge and my first YouTube video in 8 years. So if you have any feedback or suggestions, let me know in the comments. I read them all. And until next time, stay cozy.